Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Diamond Dior and I'm back again with another fucking video. And in today's video, as you can see by the title, we're gonna be watercoloring my hair. Obviously it's this hair that you see. Okay. Don't mind the flat iron. I did the lazy flat iron today, okay? Don't do too much. Don't do too much. But yeah, this wig was originally blonde, so y'all gonna see the process of me getting it to this color. And yeah, I ain't gonna do too much talking, so without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, y'all, so y'all know what's going on already. You already know what we about to get into, so let's just get right into it. This is the stuff that you're gonna need. Obviously a bin, some got to be spray for the lace, whatever dye that you choose, which in this video we're using the rose gold. I got some silicone mix deep conditioner. I would have got the regular silicone mix in the tub, but they didn't have it, so I had to settle for this. A brush, Dimnon brush, whatever you choose. Your wig. This is the wig that I started off with, the blonde wig. And of course, you're gonna need a bag for the deep condition and some hot water. I chose to get water off my stove. You can use water from your sink, whatever you feel is best. But that's what I like to do, is water off of the stove. Now, what I like to start off by doing first is spraying that lace down with that got to be. And what that got to be is going to do for your lace is going to make sure that your lace is not going to be dyed, whatever color you're dyeing your wig. This is going to protect your weight. I'm sorry, y'all. This is going to protect your lace and not make it, and basically just keep it the same color that you bleached your knots to be. Okay. So here I am spraying it down on that lace. Looking back at this video, I sprayed a whole lot on that lace. You ain't got to spray this much on that lace, but you do need to spray that lace down. I could not have no mess ups. Like, I procrastinated this. I could not have no mess ups. So that's why I sprayed a lot. But I was being lazy here and I didn't want to get my blow dryer, but girl, don't be lazy. Get up, get the blow dryer and let this dry. So here we are back to the water and I start pouring some more water in. Because like I said, I like a lot of water in my bin. I believe that I put my water above the white tape, that white sticker that you see in the bin. I just like a lot of water in my bin, just a lot of movement, a lot of space going on. You feel me? A lot of space to work in. So I don't know why I keep stirring that water around, child. I don't know. But here I am just showing you the dye up close of what I use. I use the Kiss Temptation in the color Rose Gold. I do believe that I put both of the bottles into the water. And of course you need to mix it up. Use whatever you like. I'm using the back of my brush, whatever, who cares? So I'm mixing it up and you want to make sure all of the dye is evenly distributed in the water. You don't want no clumps because that will mess up your hair. Period. That's going to mess up your hair. So I would advise you to pour a little bit in the tub and then mix it, pour a little bit more in the tub, mix it, and then just keep going like that. So as I'm looking in the thing, I'm a little skeptical because I'm like, why is the water looking red? But whatever, we gon' see it through. You feel me? So I'm just mixing it, making sure it's all evenly dissolved. And then here I am pouring some more water in there because I told you I like a lot of water in my bin, but do what suits you best. Now you see me brushing out this wig. Child, this wig was so tangled. Like, I haven't wore this wig, I don't know. It was tangled, so I had to brush it out first. You don't want no tangles in your wig. And then here I am. You see I go in ends first. And I just want to make sure all of that is getting distributed. If you want to test out your color, you want to test it out with just the ends. You don't want to do the whole thing. But here I am just dipping it back in. At this point, I didn't really care what color it was, to be honest. I had a trip to go on in like the next day or two. I didn't even have no time to change it. So hopefully we was just gonna hope that it was gonna be a good color. So I felt like the color that I wanted, the pink, wasn't really showing. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to throw in the rest of the second bottle. So that's why I said I put 2 whole bottles in there. This is me pouring the rest of the second bottle in there so that, I don't know. I felt like it was going to do something. It was going to make the color really show up, but y'all going to see it didn't. So yeah. But I'm mixing that around, you know, getting that dissolved all up in there. Here's me dipping it back in, and then I'm just gonna finish submerging the rest of my hair. I'm really trying to move the hair around, make sure every single strand gets coated and it gets coated evenly. So that's why you see me kind of just using the brush to kind of just maneuver the wig around in the hair. But you really just want to do those dipping motions. You see those motions that I'm doing? I just want to dip it in there. Some people let the hair sit. It's really just your preference. I will let the hair sit, not in this clip, but in a later clip, I do let it sit. And as I'm dipping it and I'm dyeing it, I do brush through the hair to make sure there's no tangles. A lot of people, after they dye their hair, they brush and a lot of hair is coming out. I'm not a hairstylist professional, but I do believe that is because they're not brushing their hair while it's dyeing. Now, listen, I'm not a hair professional. I'm not a hairstylist. I'm not none of that. So don't come for me, period. This is what I do. This is what I know works for me. And that's just that. So yeah, as you can see, I'm dipping it. I'm just moving it around. Girl, move that wig around. And I knew, first of all, when I looked at the wig, I was like, ooh, is this even like changing colors? But then when I looked back at the water, it was this color. So it was lighter than what it was when I first put the dye in the water. So I was like, the dye has to be on the wig if it's not in the water. I'm just gonna let y'all sit here and watch, because I'm basically just doing the same thing, dipping it in, dipping it out, putting the whole wig in there, moving it around, brushing it out, you know, just really getting those strands coated nice and evenly. So I'm gonna let y'all sit here and watch this, and when something new comes back on, I'm gonna come back on here for y'all. I got y'all. So yeah. All right, so we're here after we're done dyeing, and we then dumped all that dye and that water out. I'm taking that silicone deep conditioner that I showed you in the beginning, and I'm pouring a whole lot on this wig. A lot on this wig, because as I was dyeing it, I felt like it was feeling a little dry and it was tangled. It was really hard to brush out. So I was like, I need a whole lot of slip on this. I'm gonna really like drench this wig in this silicone mix. Like, I don't want to have no more troubles while I'm detangling it, so I want a whole lot of slip. So after I put that in there, I'm just detangling it through so that I can go ahead and get ready to put it in that plastic bag for the deep condition. See y'all, I told y'all I had to cut it because it was getting a little too much. It was getting a little too much with that detangling. So, but yeah, we're gonna throw it in that plastic bag, tie it up, get a little heat going on in there. And then I believe I left this in the bag overnight to deep condition. Yeah, I believe it was overnight. So this is the next day. That was the color it was, and I was just so confused because we put pink dye in it, but I was like, okay, whatever. We gonna try to dye it again. So I went to the store and I got a different dye, but this time I had got a darker dye. This was the Pink Petal by Kiss Temptation. It's a little bit darker, so I thought it was gonna show up a little bit more and really give that pink pop. So here's me putting it in there. I think this time I put like 1.5 bottles. I didn't put the full second bottle in there. I know that for a fact because I still got one of the bottles. So so basically in the wig, it's a little bit more of the rose gold than the Pink Petal. Either way, I wanted a pink color. It did not turn out that pink color. It still turned out this cute ginger color, but it just was not the pink. So, and I do believe that was from the fact that I didn't strip the hair to platinum blonde. I was being lazy. So if you want the pink, strip your hair to platinum blonde. Don't be lazy like me. So basically I'm just doing the same thing as I did in the last clip. I'm just dipping it in there, dipping it out, moving it around, distributing it in the ends, as I said before, yada, 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 yada. This time I'm going to leave the hair in there. I didn't leave it in there for long. I don't be ODing, honey, because I don't want, I was a little scared. So I left it in there for literally like 2 minutes, moved it around a little bit, let it really, distribute throughout the hair. And then I let it sit in there for another 2 minutes. And then I took it out and, dipping it, brushing it out, dipping it, brushing it out, all of that good stuff as you see here. So. Also want to come back on here and say that y'all be careful. As I'm watching this video back, I see that sometimes when I'm like draining the water out of the hair or the dye out of the hair, the ends of the hair is dipping into the dye. Like some parts of the hair is still kind of like in the dye. And y'all, I do want to come on here and say, yeah, y'all want to be careful of that because sometimes that will really mess up the color. You want it to be all uniform, all one color. So just be careful, be mindful of that. Thank God it didn't happen to this wig because I didn't really have room for no mess ups. But yeah, so be careful. It didn't happen to me, but be careful because it could happen to you. So this is after the second dye attempt. I believe after the first dye attempt, I did go ahead and rinse the hair before I put the deep conditioner in it. This time I did not rinse the hair because I felt like when I went to go rinse the hair, I feel like most of the dye was coming out in the tub. So I was like, ooh, let me just let this marinate in the little dye that is sitting in already for a little bit. So I just went right over top of it And I went ahead and poured that silicone mix in there. And like I said, like that last time, honey, I drenched it in that silicone mix. Girl, you go ahead and drench your wig in that silicone mix, because you want to be brought back to life. It's all dry from that dye. You want it to be brought back to life. After you have that silicone mix in there, you know, go ahead and brush that through. Make sure there's no knots and no tangles. This time I went ahead and braided it up before I went ahead and just put it in the bag. Here I'm just kind of showing you the color. I thought I had nailed the color because I was like, okay, I see a little pink tint to it. Okay. Girl, fooled me. That joint fooled me. It was not pink, honey. But whatever. So I threw it back in the bag. This time I believe I left it in there to deep condition for just a few hours because I had to do my hair later today because I was leaving on my trip the next day. Hey y'all, this is the finished look. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.